Okay, deep breath. Here we go. I am back. Hi, everybody. I am in the moment, and we are not going to talk about for very long how long it's been, because I know it's been too long, but truly, I am so glad that you are here. If you're brand new, welcome. And if you've been around since the beginning, thank you so much for sticking with me. It means more to me than you know. This is Taking a Mary Break. I am just going to take a moment out of real life to laugh a little, think a little, maybe even leave feeling a little lighter than when you showed up. That's my plan. So let me ask you something. Have you ever taken like a short break that turned into a longer break than planned? And then at some point, you're like, how am I even going to explain this? That's me. And that's exactly where I've been. Life kind of pressed pause on me for a while, not in a dramatic movie scene kind of way, just very real, very human, and gave me a moment to say, okay, I am slowing down. And whether or not I liked it, that is what I needed to do. I did go through some medical things, and yes, that did include cancer. But before anything else, let me say this clearly so that nobody has to worry about me. I am perfectly fine. I have been in remission now for about 7 months, and I feel like myself. So that means it is ready to go for it. So when I was going through everything, there is something that I didn't want to take for granted anymore. And that is really taking in life. And you know what surprised me? I thought that I would come out of the season more serious. And of course, I do have my serious moments, but I thought I'd be really deep and reflective, maybe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But honestly, I think that I laugh more now than I had before. Because you start to realize a lot of things that we stress, or I should say that I stress about, aren't worth it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some days I feel like I have got it all together. I've got a plan. I'm being productive. I'm checking off my list. Other days, I'm drinking my third cup of coffee. I'm in the kitchen and I'm wondering what day it is. And that's the truth. And both of those days are real life. Now, there were definitely quiet moments during that time, and I did a lot of soul searching, the kind where everything kind of slows down and you don't really have a choice. And in those moments, what mattered, what I kept coming back to was that people matter, kindness matters, and joy matters. And, those little everyday moments that we usually rush past, those might actually be the best part of our lives. So when I started thinking about, talking to you guys about this, I knew one thing for sure. I don't want this to feel heavy and be like, oh no, she's going to talk about something deep again. Because there is enough heavy out there, and I'm not adding to it in the world already. I want this to feel like you were sitting down with a friend. And I may be your friends. So just imagine that we're having a cup of coffee and you're at your favorite coffee joint. Because some days, let's be honest, we're thriving. And some days I'm just proud if I remember to defrost something for dinner. And both count. I'm going to talk about real life, the funny things that have happened to me, the frustrating moments where it makes you almost want to laugh or cry. And hopefully, with that, I can encourage you along the way and remind you that in those moments, that is actually what matters, having the time to listen. And you're going to probably hear a few stories where you're going to think there is no way that that actually happened. But my friends, let me guarantee you, it did. And I will say this, coming out of everything that I've been through, I don't feel like I'm starting over, and I didn't even want to promote it that way. I actually feel like that I have been given a fresh perception, like life just gently said, "Hey, slow down. I want you to look around. This does matter." And now I don't want to miss those moments anymore. I even look at like let's said before, the small things. It's a good conversation. It's a quiet morning. It's when you finally sit down after a long, hard day and think, okay, I did it, or we did it. We accomplished this. Even if it just means that you wore real clothes today and didn't keep your pajamas on all day. And no hate to anyone that's wearing pajamas because I have been through that. So no judgment. But yeah, maybe you're in a season right now where things feel uncertain. Maybe life didn't go the way you planned, or you feel like things have been on pause. Let me just gently remind you that a pause is never the end. Sometimes it's where clarity shows up. Sometimes it's where strength grows. And sometimes it's just where you catch your breath before you go on to what's next. And I'm really glad that you're here with me. This isn't just me talking onto a microphone when I do this podcast. To me, it's so much more. This is something that I feel like we are building together. It's a space that I want that feels real, encouraging, and just a little bit of the break from everything else. Okay. So before we wrap up, I do have to tell you about the next episode because I am so excited about this. So we're going to take a road trip. It's a little trip to southern Indiana, back to the town that I am originally from, which is New Harmony, Indiana. And let me tell you, this is not just any small town. It is full of incredible history. You're going to get a fun history lesson with it too. So, the kind that makes you stop and go, wait a second, I think I've heard this before. So, part of the episode is going to be me sharing that history. But also, there's going to be some fun stories from my time there that I think you'll really get a kick out of. Now, the kind that hopefully is going to put a smile on your face. And then there's the second part that you are not going to want to miss. I have been given permission to share an extremely special video. And while it shows mainly the history of New Harmony, the really fun part is that the background characters in this were actually chosen people who lived there at the time in New Harmony. And in one of the scenes, I can even see in the background my third grade teacher. So that's really cool. And I absolutely love talking about all this. It just becomes so personal and so real. And I love sharing that part of my life with you. Plus, I'll be sharing some pictures. So it's something that you're going to want to see, not just hear. And it's just the beginning. I'm just getting started. I am so very grateful to be back. I am so glad you're here and excited for everything ahead. So, wherever you are today, I want you to take a breath, give yourself a little grace, and maybe find one small thing to smile about today. And just remember, always be kind because you never know what anyone is actually going through. And I will see you next time on Taking a Merry Break. And guys, I am so glad to be back. Have a good night.